Right, let's quickly look at how Sekhukhune United lost to Orlando Pirates despite the fact that they did not actually look that bad. We'll look at all the four phases except set pieces, which includes the attack, the defense, the transition to attack, and also how they manage transitions into their defense. Are you ready? Let's go. Hello and welcome to the Cutback with me, Coach Mpilo. This is where we talk about South African football, so do make sure to subscribe to the channel and follow for more content. By the way, this is part of our first homework as the CAF C diploma candidates. So you know I always make content, but this one was also homework. So yeah, let's go. So we start with how Sekhukhune looked to attack in this game. So how they were attacking, they were building with the back two. So obviously the two center backs would stay there building, and then what would happen is the full backs would be very wide because they want to stretch the pitch as much as possible, and then there will also be a central option. Now here it would depend. On some cases it would be Umkhize dropping to receive the ball, but in some other cases it was Klaka. So one of the two pivots of Sekhukhune would be here to receive the ball centrally. And there was also another alternative whereby Pirates could just since Ulungu tries to be aggressive, then Sekhukhune could switch the ball to one of the sides and find one of the wingers. And once they are there are already three players attacking the box. And as you can see, Sekhukhune were not scared to add numbers forward, because right now, if you are playing against Pirates, most teams would be very careful. Not Sekhukhune, because they would create those wide overloads so that they can play the ball there. And they also know that if they combine well out there, they will also be able to cross the ball into the middle where there are a lot of their players. Now, this obviously was not a once-off. One thing that also interested me is how wide their center backs were when building. They would be like not close to the keeper, like really wide, which would then mean that Mbutuma and whoever was pressing for Pirates, because sometimes it would be Apolis, as you can see there, but sometimes Masilela and Mbutuma, if they were trying to press, then they would also have to like adopt this wide shape, because the idea is for one to press the right center back and the other to press the left center back, it being Masilela in this case. So with that happening, then Sekhukhune will play the ball, and if Pirates chose a side and try to block progression on one side. Now in midfield of Sekhukhune, you have Utlaka being ready to collect the ball and being guided by Apolis. But with that happening, now you also have, if Klaka is dropping, then you also have Ramala showing here. If it's not Ramala, it could be Mkhize dropping, because sometimes Mkhize starts here and he moves forward, and then Ramala drops towards the ball. That movement to just cause some commotion, because now, as you can see, Masilela does not know who to mark. On one hand, he was thinking about the guy behind him, but he also wants to go press, so he's now kind of confused. And then Sekhukhune would add another movement, because they would just have their striker Undlovu dropping all the way, really deep. But look at what's happening behind him. Ubaoti would be there dropping to follow him, because Hurricane started this thing of dropping way too deep, and then other coaches countered this by having center backs drop. So as you can see, Smith is also dropping really aggressive with him, making sure that he doesn't play, and then Sekhukhune would be pushed back. Here's another example of this. In this case, Mojela starts very high, and then as a result, when Sekhukhune get this, Utlaka, if I think it was Klaka who took that set piece, tries to play the ball forward as quickly as possible. But then Pirates were very, very quick to recover. And that was just the theme in the whole game. Here, once again, you have Sekhukhune building, and you have Utlaka dropping to come and collect the ball, and obviously being marked by Abu Apolis, making sure that he's not free when he gets the ball. And the ball gets played to Mobi, because Mobi is always free. He plays that ball forward to Ndlovu, because Ndlovu is the outlet, but Abu Smith would be quick to recover the ball, even though Undlovu was actually quite decent with his hold-up play, and that allowed the rest of his teammates to run forward quickly. But when they were in this area, even though the movements were sometimes worked out well, the execution was not done quite as well as you'd expect. Here's another situation. Sekhukhune creates those wide overloads, and then the next thing you know, Ndlovu is the target. The ball is played forward to him, and Abosbisi, no. Usbisi, there is Bisi here. He's out of the game now, and it's only Siema who's left in the game. But as you can see, there's a lot of red shirts making runs forward. And this is not just for support, but it's also for cases like this. Siema clears the ball, and now all of a sudden, all the attacking players counter press, win the ball back immediately, and now they can start an attack. But as I said before, the quality of execution here at the back, in the final third for Sekhukhune, was not quite well. And then here is the last example not the last example, second last example I want to show you. Sekhukhune plays really wide, and they force Pirates to come mark them. You can see that here Danson is dragged away by Umkhize, and with Danson being dragged away, there's also Mtiane being dragged away by who's this guy who came on number 7? I'm trying to remember his name. Ramabu, yes, it was Ramabu dropping as well, taking Umtiane away from midfield, which means now that 1v1 between Usbisi and Ndlovu is just that 1v1. Usbisi is not getting any help. As a result, he wins the ball, and then now he tries to play wide. But in this case, once again, as it's been the case, Mtiane recovers because Pirates were good at that. Here's a final example. Again, you see that you have Umkhize here dropping towards the ball. You have Danson being taken away by Utlaka, which then gives enough space for the person on the ball, and the ball is now played forward. Now, what happens, obviously, you know who the target man is. It's always the same person. The person they are trying to find, of course, Ndlovu, and now Mtiane is caught between trying to add pressure here and now trying to also assist. And if you check, you will see that Ramala is now free. So when the ball is won there, Ramala is found, he's free, he gets the ball, he fails to control that first touch. Siema has to step up and then wins the ball. And then that was the story, basically. It's a story of one team having, some sort of structure, but whenever they got into promising positions, they just did not deliver. Because Pirates were also very good at that. Now, let's look at how Pirates themselves were marked, because it's sort of similar, because you'll have Ndlovu once again, as you can see, slowly drifting to one side. What he's doing now is basically encouraging Sipho Chayane to play the ball to one side. Now, the pass to Sbisi is no longer on because Ndlovu has made Uchayane play the ball to one side. And once the ball goes to that side, you will see now that he can now press him because he knows that the pass is not on. Now, more things to see from this is that with the ball being played like that, you'll also have Mkwena, who's a right winger, starting narrow and kind of blocking any central progression. And when the ball did go wide, then he would go and press Hoto. And also another thing is that Wapolis likes drifting infield as a winger, and that usually confuses right backs. But in this case, Mobi had a clear instruction. If that guy drops into midfield, you follow him. And that's exactly what happened. So he didn't get any space and time on the ball. And another thing that was also very clear is that Mujela was asked to track back, because this guy right here, Usbilibili, is very aggressive going forward. So Mujela was asked to drop back, making a back 5 to counter the overlaps of this guy Usbilibili. So he would be very tight on him, and he would also force him back. Another thing that you will clearly see here is that everyone is in this back 5, Mujela included as a left winger, which is kind of what they did with Umodi at Chiefs when they were there. The left winger dropping, looking like a wing back, which is effective, obviously. And then when the ball is played, they try to find a police. They couldn't do it because the ball will be won, because the team was aggressive. Here's another example. Again, Ndlovu funnels Pirates to one side, this time to the right hand side, to the left hand side of Pirates. Now, what do you see? The pivots in midfield of Pirates are not allowed to play. Mtiane is man-marked here, and then Umasilela is also man-marked here. And of course, you have Umkwena starting central but ready to step up, and Makuhoto. So what happens then? When Sbisi tries to play the ball, everyone steps up now. Umkwena steps up wide, and they just play the ball long, which Umkhize, or in some cases with Buklaka, but in this case Umkhize wins the ball and they can now start attacking. Last example is the goal, because they did some things right, but here Pirates, for context, if I could have shown you, I don't want to. The ball started on the other side, so they switch it quickly to this left-hand side. Now Hoto gets the ball. Obviously, Apolis is not here. Apolis is now there. So now it's no longer about just man marking for Mob. It's also about this person is in my zone, so I have to press him. So he goes, he presses him, but then the problem, he goes to sleep because everyone else is doing their jobs, and Ulunga is rotated to this left-hand side, you know, just for variety as well. Lungu, right? And then Lungu just basically back heels, and then it's a goal. It's a really good finish by Hoto, but Mobi did go to sleep. Let's look to how Sekhukhune transition to attack. Now with the shape, with them winning the ball, Undlovu was not given any defensive responsibility. So whenever they won the ball, Sekhukhune, that's the guy they try to find. And his hold-up play is actually decent, and his teammates were there to support him and make forward runs. But as I said, and as I've been saying, the quality up front was not that good. Once again, here's another example. The ball goes forward. It's a 2v1. What tends to happen? Well, 2v1 ends in one way. Baot and Osiema win it. And here's another one. They win the ball, and what happens? They start a counter from there. Who's there? It's obviously Ndlovu. Here is marked by the first man, Osiema, and then Upaot is there to clean up. Last example. Again, they win the ball, but here this is a quite decent chance because the ball is played forward, and then Ndlovu is there. And now Sekhukhune can launch a counter. Let's go. But Pirates do very well, Osiema here, to delay this attack. Although they end up finding a pass and trying to combine, but Pirates have recovered. As a result, the ball is lost. How did they transition to defense, you ask? Well, in this case, I use this one example because they lose the ball. Ulungu is about to go score, but Cardoso again brilliantly slows him down. He doesn't commit, although he gets a shot off, but it could have been way worse if he decided to try and close him down. So, and you can see the rest of the defenders were also back to help with the marking. That's it. That's how Pirates played and how Sekhukhune played and failed to beat Pirates despite having a plan. I think one thing to say about this game is it just came down to quality. Who had better players and who could execute, because I think probably with the same plan, Pirates wins this game. But since it's Sekhukhune and their quality is not at the level of Pirates, then they don't win. I'm late. Let me go to class. I'll see you when I see you. So thank you for watching. And until next time, keep watching football. It's live. Bye-bye.